from Converse in the
That's
Ninjaverse.
a mic.
This is a mic, and this is a Gil.
That's right.
The Gil Gerard.
Hi
Buck
there.
Rogers, 25th century.
You did that very well.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's just, you're like sixth interview, I think, altogether for me.
Wow.
And
You're almost a virgin.
almost.
Yeah.
As I like 6 times as slightly used. You know.
Well, yeah.
Near mint.
That doesn't count as a gangbang.
No, not yet.
Okay, all right.
No, not yet.
All right.
Well,
What can I do for you?
I wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Go ahead.
My first question.
Yes.
Right now, with all the big talk, Star Wars, Harrison Ford's back as Han Solo. There's talk about Sam Jones being Flash
Not
Gordon
gonna do
again. You wouldn't do it?
No, they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it? If they ever came to you and they said, one more shot, Buck Rogers, 25th
I just
century.
don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, I know you did on a Buck Rogers reboot. You played his father.
Yes, it was Buck Rogers back in the original version. He's a World War I pilot and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Now, were you a fan of that growing up? It was because it reran on TV from the serials, right? The old.
Well, I saw it in the movie theater.
You did see it in the movie theater.
As serials.
Okay.
But I just was never a big fan of either that or Flash Gordon. I like Johnny Mac Brown, Lash LaRue, the Western stuff.
Oh, the Western stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the show kind of followed that formula of space Western, especially in the second season.
Well, yeah, it followed the formula of Battlestar Galactica in the second
Yes, it
season,
really did.
which we used to call Wagon Train in Space.
Yes.
So then we decided to do it. Of course, that was really handy because they just canceled Battlestar, so we picked up the.
Yeah, you kind of picked up
torch.
the set and ran.
Yeah, not far though.
Yeah. But your first season, you kind of had that cool 70s
The first
action
season,
star.
yeah.
The first season, and that's, to me, that was always my favorite because it was different locations and interesting characters. You had the little guy from the heavy gravity planet. It was like you kind of had that Twilight Zone kind of villain of the week.
Once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, you had, and you had reoccurring villains with the princess.
Right. Killer Kane, all that
Killer
kind of
Kane, Tiger Man.
Yeah.
All that.
Tiger Man really wasn't all that much.
No, but he was. I remember as a kid, they promoted him. He was
Well, yeah,
around. He was
there
a good
were a
action
couple
figure.
things where I had to fight him and all that kind of stuff. So.
Now, we're doing the show with Twiggy, the robot.
Twiggy.
Twiggy.
Twiggy was a very skinny
Twiggy was
model.
the skinny model from Blues Brothers.
Yeah. Well, see, a skinny model from fashion too.
Yes, I know.
I actually I co-hosted a musical with Helen Reddy in Hawaii, and Twiggy was one of our guests. She's a really, really nice person. So, just a little sidelight. Thought you'd like to know that.
That's good to know. It's like crossover because everybody always does that Twiggy joke.
Twiggy.
Yeah. So
70s what else do you want to know?
Well, Mel Blanc did the voice for at least one season.
He did it for both, but they changed it at the beginning of the second season, and I told them to put it back or they wouldn't have me as Buck Rogers.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, was he ever on set, or was it all like post-production, so you never got...
Yeah.
I was just wondering if it was something that he went out and felt the vibe of the character.
He had a studio in his own house.
Okay.
And so he would just do it there. And of
'Cause I
course,
had
since there was no mouth, nothing had to match. He just had to...
Just lay the voice in over, and they
Right.
could make it up the way they want. Because I'd always heard stories about him, like, researching, going to the zoo to, like, figure out how to do Porky Pig.
Well, it could have been that, but he didn't do that for Twiggy.
I was just wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, he may have watched some stuff to see how, because when we initially shot the movie, Twiggy had no voice. That was all added later. There was no dialogue. There was nothing. It was just.
Oh, and they filled it in later?
Yeah, it was just me talking to him, and then it was just his body language.
And they wrote the responses.
From that, they wrote the responses in, and then Mel did those, and then he did all the rest of them in the first season. I don't know why they decided to change it. I have no idea. I have a theory, but I'm not going to get into it.
Okay.
What else? This is water, by the way.
I believe that. I had a interaction one time with Gary Coleman.
I'm sorry to
on
hear
one
that.
of these shows.
No, Gary's a good guy.
Gary,
God rest his soul.
Gary had some problems with people, and him and the different strokes things, he had issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I, as a kid with me and Gary being on the show twice, that resonated with me because he was the kid on Buck Rogers.
Yeah.
So I said, when I spoke with him, I said, your episodes of Buck Rogers were my two favorite because that was
Yeah.
the kid on the show, and he lit up just to have somebody talk to him about something else. He said he enjoyed working on that show so much.
Yeah.
And he's just happy to have people. He was happy to have people appreciate something else.
Yeah. Well, when he was on the show, they made this blue suit for him as the president of whatever it was.
Yes.
He wore that suit for the next 4 shows on different strokes. Literally, he wouldn't take it off. He loved that. He loved doing the show. I really enjoyed him. He was a good kid. He was really good. So.
Well, I don't have an awful lot else for you. I know,
Then get the hell out of here.
I'm gonna. I was gonna connect with you on the level of I've always been an Arkansas University fan.
Oh yeah.
And I know you're an Arkansas guy. I know you went there for a little bit.
No, I didn't go to the University of Arkansas.
You didn't go to University of Arkansas?
No, I went to Arkansas
Your
State.
Wikipedia page lies. It says university.
It's not my page. It's,
Okay, I know. Well, somebody lied.
It's the University or Central Arkansas University.
I'm familiar with that too.
Yeah, that was. But it was called Arkansas State Teachers
Arkansas
College
State,
when I
okay.
went there. I never went to the University of Arkansas.
Oh no. Okay.
But I do go Razorbacks. So
Yes, I have a pig hat. I have a hog.
You have a hat?
I have a hat from.
Are you from Arkansas?
I have my grandmother's sister moved from New York to Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
Was married to a patent attorney who filed the patent for the pig hat.
Oh, no wonder you have it.
So I have one of the first ever pig hats.
Wow.
Going back for a long time. It's a family heirloom.
I see.
So it was great talking with you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Great to meet
man.
you.
Thank you.
Always been a fan of the show, and this has been a pleasure for me. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure for me as well. Thank you so much.